Hello, in this video, we will talk something about the similarity. In Chinese, this one is called 近似 or 相似. That means this time we will not consider the size must be equal. We only consider the shape is equal. So you will see the definitions of the similarity is that we will consider that they are the same shape, but not necessarily the same size. That means we consider that we can make it large, enlarge the figures, and also to make it smaller to reduce the figure. So that is similar to that we learned before in chapter 7. There's something talk about the enlargement and reduction. So they will have the same way. So as we know that because we have the same shape, but we do not have the same size, so the only thing that we will see if we say that these two triangles are similar, we will say that A, B, C, and follow the order that is P, Q, R. That means A will be equal to P. That means the angle. So that we will have the angle A equal angle B equal to angle Q, and angle C equal to angle R. Because the angle can influence or can affect the shape, so we will say that this one is equal. But for the length, because we do not have the same size, so that means the length must be changed. So we will only say that they are in proportion, 比例 in Chinese, 跟比例 in proportion. That means we will say that this one, if this one is 1, this one is 2, and I can say that if this one is 0.5, that one must be 1, because they will be 1 to 2, so that they will in proportions for the similarity. So make sure that you know that this one is a little bit different from that you learn in congruence. For congruence, you will find that they are the same, but this time we only in proportion. That means we will find the comparison between the length of the lines. Okay, now let's look at question 1. So we will describe the shape first. Refer to the figure below. Find 3 pairs of the similar figures. Okay, so I'll give you 15 seconds. Please find out which 3 pairs of similar figures are there. Okay, now I will tell you the answer. If you cannot finish, just pause the video. You can say that G or C look similar, but they are not similar because we have 4 leaves for there, only 3 leaves there. So I don't think that C and G are similar. But I think that A and H is similar. Although you will find that it interchange or reflect the figures, but I can say only consider the shape, but don't consider the direction. So I think that A and H is one of the answer. So that this is the spade. And also, what about the heart is also similar. D and F is also similar. So I think that D and F is also similar. So that we have the shape, a spade, we have the heart, we have the cup. The cup is not as similar, but I think that the diamond is similar because we have the square like this, and we also have something like square. So that we don't consider the direction, we only consider shape. So we find that B and J will have the same shape, so I think that B and G. You may think that E and I, maybe it looks like something that you know very well, but you will see that this one is larger, maybe 90 degrees, but this one is less than 90 degrees, so that we don't think that these are similar. If is similar, they are similar, I think that both of them will have the same size of the angle. Only the angle will get the same size. Okay, so this is question 1. And then we will go to question 2. We were going to define corresponding angles and corresponding sides. So just like what we do in congruence, we will also have something like similar. For triangle ABC, we are making something that's similar is the side here. We only have a snake here. For congruent, I have never told you. For the congruent, you have the snake side here and also equal side. That means the snake side means the shape is equal. And equal side means the size is equal. So for congruent, you will see 2 things are there. But for similar, only one thing, the shape is similar. Okay, so what about the triangle here? For A, this is 1 mark. So that I think that D is another 1 mark. So we write down D here. For B, you will have 2 marks. So this one is F. For C, you have 3 marks, so this one is E. So I think the triangle DFE. So the corresponding angle A will correspond to angle D. So don't just write DEF, you must consider the order. It's very important. For angle B, the answer is angle F. And finally, for angle C, the answer is angle E. So you must consider the positions and also the order of the triangle. It's very important, although this is DFE and DEF is totally different here in congruence and similar. And AB, that means that AB is the first 2 letters, you have DF. So we have DF. And for BC, the last 2 letters, we will have FE. And finally, CA, that means this is ED, not DE. Okay, so we will have something like this. And for the other one, you will have triangle PQR. So I will give you 15 seconds. You can try to do this, and I will tell you the answer afterwards. Okay, now we will tell you the answer, so please pay attention. If you cannot finish, just pause the video now. For angle P, you will see this is a right angle, so angle Z is also the right angle, so we went on triangle Z. Okay, first one. Next one, you will see Q. Q is 2 marks, so we found 2 marks is Y. So the last one must be X. Z, Y, X. So we write down angle P is related to angle Z. Angle Q is related to angle Y. And finally, angle R will be related to angle X. And then we'll find the corresponding sides are, okay, PQ will be ZY. QR will be, QR is the last 2 letters, so will be YX. So every time if you mark it clear here, so that you will solve the problem very easy. Okay, finally, RP, that means this one is XZ. So this is the answer for the question 2 and question 3. So make sure that you know what is the meaning of these marking. Afterward, we will do some example that finding the angles and even finding the length of the similar triangles. So let's look at question 4. You will see in the figure give that triangle ABC is similar to PQR. So find X and Y. So first of all, we look at X. X is angle P. That means we are going to find that P is related to angle A. So X must be 36 degrees. So we can say X, you can write it clear, is equal to angle QPR. QPR, so that it must be equal to BAC. So that is equal to angle BAC. The second, the first, and finally the third. So we have second, first, third, second, first, third. So that we will write this correlation directly. BAC is 36 degrees, so we write down 36 degrees. The reason is corresponding angles. This time is corresponding angles once again, but this time is not congruent triangles or parallel lines, because this time is similar triangles, so we just write down similar triangles here. And for Y, we are going to find out the 100 degree, because this is angle ABC. Y. PQR is Y, so that directly is ABC, and ABC is 100 degree. So Y will be equal to angle PQR, and directly equal to ABC, and equal to 100 degree. So this one is corresponding angles, similar triangles. So we solve the problem directly here. Okay, this is question 4. So why don't you do the question 5 by yourself in 15 seconds first? Okay, now if you cannot finish, just pause the video. Now we're going to find out the question 5, the triangle XYZ and N are similar to triangle NMK. So let's look at unknown A first. We're going to find out A and B. So one by one. A, you will see this one is angle NMK, so it's directly. So equal NMK. This one is equal to this. And you can say that NMK is just directly equal to angle XYZ because we copy here following the order, so we copy the answer following the order here, XYZ. So I think that the angle here is 64 degrees with the corresponding angles, similar triangles. So I think that this is the first answer. And B, you will see, let me write down the angle first. For B, that one is NKM, angle NKM. So you will see this one is the first one, the third one, and the second one. So this time, the first one is angle X, and then the second one is Z, the third one is Z, and the last one is second is Y. So that is angle XZY. XZY, so this one is 47 degrees. Directly we can solve the problem so that we can write down corresponding angles, similar triangles, so that we can solve A and B directly. So this is question 5. So let's look at question 6. This time we will find the length. The length is a little bit problem because we know that for question 6 we will find the length, we will find the proportion. So let's look at the question carefully. In the figure, give that triangle DEF is similar to triangle NMP. You are going to find out X and Y. Because we are going to find the proportion, that means every time we need to find 4 numbers. For example, we will have equal sign here, we will have it, and we will have it. So just like that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That means for 4 answer, that means we only have 1 unknown here for here. So we must find out the other 3 numbers that can fulfill here. So if I can say that if I want to find X, first of all, that one is Pn. So why don't we write it down Pn first? We are going to find Pn. Okay, we will do it parallelly for 2 rows. This one is X, so that we are going to find Pn. Okay, for Pn, you will see that is the last 2 letters. So the third one first and the second one go second. Okay, now so that's one I'm going to find is Fe, so that we can say Bn over Fe. So that we know X is over 6 because Fe is equal to 6 here. So that we will use the relationship between P and Fe. Then we can find out that we are going to use which pair of it. For example, if we want to use, we will never use MP. Because we know that MP is Y. If we write down Y here, so that we will have 2 unknowns in 1 row, it is impossible to find out the answer for unknown questions. The only way that we will find the other one, that is MN. So we will choose MN here rather than PM, because 2 unknown we cannot solve. Even FE teachers cannot solve 2 unknowns in only 1 questions. Okay, there will be a lot of answers can be possible, but we will not use this one. And then we will go to MN. So we will use the last one. We will not use this one. We will use the MN directly. And to MN, that means this is first 2 letters. That means we will choose DE here. So that is 3 cm. So we will choose MN over DE here. That means this one is 6 over 3. So every time, make sure that we will find a pair of numbers here. So this is 6, this is 3, this is 6, this is 3. So that we can do the calculation because only 1 unknown here. So that we only need to times 6 over there so that we can solve every problem. Okay, now let's look at this one. This one is corresponding size, similar triangle. We must write down the reason. So we will times 6 over there. So X equals 6 over 3 times 6. You know that the answer is directly 12. So X is 12 cm. So we can solve the problem directly. Okay, now let's go to Y. So we are going to find out the Y here. So if I want to find out the Y, that means that this time I will use PM. PM. So for PM, that is the third and the first. So we use FD to pair up. So over FD here to pair it up. So this time is 7. So every time you will write 2 rows at the same time, it's much easier for you to understand everything. Because if you do not write 2 rows, you will find that it's a little bit distinguish which two lines we're going to use. Why don't we use just this one for mn over d here? Because we have both number here, we will not use x, although we have found if x is 12, but I don't know that I got the correct answer a lot. So why don't we use something that is already given here? So 6 over 3. So what we have is y will equal to 6 over 3 times 7. So the answer y will be equal to 14. So we solve the problem for x and y. And only one thing that I am missing is called that I must write down the reason. Corresponding size, similar triangles here. So we can solve the problem easily. Okay, now this time I will give you to do the question 7, and I will give you, I think that I will give you 30 seconds to find out the answer. So it's not easy, so please try hard. Okay, now let's check the answer. I'm going to find out the value a and b. So why don't we find out a first? For a, you will see that it's uv. So we will write down, every time we write the two rows at the same time, so that I think you can solve the problem easily. So this one is uv, the first and third. So that means we are going to find out gk here. So we write down uv is a, gk is 12. So we'll write down the pair of it. So this time we will not use hk, this is b. So the only one we can use is gh. Because for hk is unknown, we cannot do two unknown at the same time. So we will have over gk is in the denominator, we will write gh here. Because every time we will write the same triangle in the same position. So this is gh here. This is 16. And the last one I want to know is GH will be UW. So we write down this is UW. And this is corresponding size, similar triangles. So UW is 12 cm. So we write down 12 here. So every time we have 12. And then we can times 12 here. So we have A equals 12 over 16 times 12. So this one is 9. So we can solve the problem easily. But please pay attention, we must match the number clearly. That we will use UV here. We will use GK for the second one. If I want to find out the pair of GH, I must find out the pair is UW. So that I can solve A directly with the corresponding size similar triangle. And every time you can see every time when I put the triangle, if I choose one triangle at the top, I will choose the other triangle at the bottom. So make sure that you can do the same thing so that every time UV is on the top and this one is on the bottom, in the bottom. Okay, now let's look at the part B. You will see B is a little bit difficult because this time HK is unknown here. So why don't we write down first? Two row, HK is here. So this is B. Okay, so we have something like this. And then if we choose HK, that means the last two letters, we will choose WV here. So this one is WV. This is 15. Okay. Next, what we are going to do is that we just copy UW over GH because every time we can use the same pair of number here. So that's 12 over 16. So this is corresponding size, similar triangles. Those at this time is a little bit difficult because we see the unknown is in the bottom of the question. So what can we do? We can do the same thing. So let's do it one by one. Okay, I will do the step clearly here. Okay, now we have 15b equals 12 over 16 here. So that you will see b is over there here. So we will times b here. So if you times b for the left hand side, you will times b for the right hand side. We want to move away the denominator here because I don't want to find something that denominator is the unknown. So we times b here. So we have 15 equals 12b over 16. because we know that b times b is here, so that we will put it in the numerator. So we have 12b. And then so that you can solve the problem directly, that is we times 16 here. So we have 15 times 16 equals 12b. And then we divide 12 over there. So 15 times 16 over 12 equals b. That means b is equal to something. We do the cancellation. 12, 15, this is 4, this is 3, this is 1, this is 5. So b is 20. So we can solve the problem easily. So make sure that if every time you see something unknown here, you can times that for both sides, so that you will move the b from the denominator to the numerator. In case you can move something there from the numerator to denominator, but it's a little bit difficult for you to do the question. Okay, now that's all of the in this video. So I hope you all know how to do the basic concept of the similarity. See you all next time. Bye.